Yo, what's going on, everybody? Hey, it's Jason, and tonight here in Japan we have another kind of Eagle tutorial, kind of, for the Microbox build. Today we are going to do um, a design library for the Brook PS5 upgrade board. Now, I don't have one of these in hand, but Tim from Brook, awesome guy, he sent me some mechanical drawings of the board, and then using the old interwebs, I found some of the electrical connections on the board so that we can make this design super easy. We're going to go ahead and do similar to what we did yesterday. So let's go ahead and get started here. Awesome. So this is the mechanical drawing that Tim from Brooks sent me. It's the exact size of the board. You see it's 21 millimeters by 19.5 millimeters, super small. One part to mechanically connect them with a little screw, and then obviously it's got a bunch of pins as well. The 5 pins here on the top, this is going to be what connects to the Brook Universal Fight Board. These 2 pins are for power, and then this looks to be the SOCD cleaner selector. So we're going to model all of this in Eagle today so that we have the design block for use in the Microbox build, which I might be starting tomorrow. So we'll see. And if you can hear me in chat or you want to say hello, please let me know. I see it and I will respond. So, Agalon, what up? And if I'm saying that wrong, please let me know because I am terrible with figuring out exactly how to say some of these online handles. That's why mine is just my name, Jason Hicks. Okay, so let's get started here, and I'm going to just kind of keep this little guy here in the upper left of the screen so that we can see what we're trying to model. And you'll see right off the bat the connectors we have. We have a 2-pin, 2mm standoff, and then a 5-pin, or I'm sorry, a 6-pin, yikes, a 6-pin connector for the interconnect to the Brook board. Now that's interesting because I thought that was a 5-pin connector on the Brook board, and it totally is. They're just using one less wire on the connector. I'm not sure why they chose to go 6-pin here instead of a 5-pin, but they did, so we'll just go with that. And to be honest with you, I think if I was designing this, I would have probably just done a 7-pin connector and then have 2 leads coming off of it for power, and then the other 5 being connected over to the Brook board. That would have just been easier, one less part, so one less little cost to incur, I think. Okay. Yeah, so to answer questions, the Microbox is it's something I was thinking about doing, and I was talking to Rageous X about this, God, like 18 months ago, and then I just never got around to doing anything more than just some like basic sketches. I was thinking about doing like a keyboard style thing where you could pull keys on and off and swap them out, because like I have, let's see, so like this is my Bluetooth keyboard. These keys are interchangeable. This whole frame here is aluminum, down here is plastic, and I really like this thing, and I thought it'd be cool to do something similar to this with a circuit board for a fight stick. And then, you know, like I said, I just never did it. And then, yeah, I saw Paradise Arcade do the Impress, and I saw the snack food, junk food arcade snack box or whatever it's called. I was like, oh, that looks a lot like the thing I was going to do. Good for them. I'm glad they did it, because I thought it was always an interesting idea, and I thought people were going to like it. So I'm glad someone put that out on the market that you can buy ready assembled. My goal is to design all of this stuff and then just put the files out there and let you guys use them and tweak them and do whatever you want to kind of design your own controller, because that's the part of the hobby I like. I like to make and design and build my own stuff. And some other people are like that. If I can save a little bit of time by giving these files out, let's do it. So, and then, yes, the design library I posted yesterday and did yesterday was for the Brook Universal Fight Board. And it's going to be used in my Microbox build as well. So, all right, let's go ahead and get started. Enough talking right now. All right, so we need to put on some JST connectors. These are JST PH connectors. It's a 2-pin, or yeah, 2-pin and a 6-pin. So if we just scroll down here, con JST PH, wrong library. We want to go to the PH library. We want the 2, and then we can see what these look like here. We don't want the surface mount one. We want the through hole one like this. So I'm going to click that, and I'm just going to place that anywhere. Hit escape, and then I'm going to find the 6-pin one. Boom, just like that. I'm going to toss that on there. Hit escape. Then I'm going to go down, and I'm just going to put all of my connectors on at the same time at this point. I was not very efficient with the way I did this yesterday. So we need a 3.3 millimeter hole. Boom. So we got that. Click that. We're going to add that. Remember, we're going to add all of our parts to our schematic, and then we'll worry about dealing with all of the placements in a minute. All right, let's go ahead and add one more part. We know we need our pin header, so we're going to scroll down until we see pin head, and then we want a 1x2 like this, because that's the same that is used on the SOCD cleaner deal. So we're going to click that, and then boom, just like this. All right, now let's go ahead and add some wires to, actually let's go ahead and click on our this is our layers button. This lets you turn things on and off to make it easier to see things. I don't know why pins aren't always enabled, but I always enable them because I want to see those circles, so I know that when I'm drawing my nets like this, they are always in where I need them to be. Now I'm just going to draw the nets in here initially. I'll come back and rename them all later, because I want to make sure that I can see it laid out on the board and I make sure I connect it all right. Okay, so we have all of this done now. This is going to be super simple. It's a very small board, and I have all the dimensions I need right away, and it's only 3 connectors plus a hole, so that's pretty awesome. So let's go ahead and let's save this now. Save as. Okay, where do I want to save this? Microbox Build, and I'm going to call this the PS5 upgrade PCB. I don't know what they actually call it yet, so that's what I'm going to call it, and it doesn't really matter, so we'll leave it as that. All right, so we're going to go ahead and switch over to board. It's going to ask me if I want to create it from a schematic. Of course I do. I hit yes, and just like that, it puts all of the massive amount of parts, all 4 of them, on the PCB. All right, now we are going to delete these board lines. We don't want those because we're going to make this a design block. And once again, we are going to use this directly from, we're going to reference everything, off of the 0, 0. That's this little tick mark here. So first and foremost, the easiest thing to place is this hole. We know it's 3 millimeters along the X and 2.5 millimeters along the Y. So let's go ahead and click our grids. Let's change this to millimeters and hit OK. Then I'm going to right click this and choose properties, and then I'm going to go ahead and put in 3 for my X value and 2.5 for my Y value, hit apply, and just like that, that hole is in the correct spot, just like on this board. Next thing I want to do is I'm going to click this line here, and this is going to let me draw. Right now you'll see on my layer I've got top, that's my top copper. I don't want to draw the line there because that's actually going to draw things in copper, so that's something that the fab company would like etch out and leave behind. I want this on my T place, and I go with T place because it is going to be printed on the PCB when we're done. So I'm going to go ahead and make my screen a little bit bigger. I hope everyone can see everything okay. I want to get over here to my 0, 0, but before I do that, let me do this. Let me take my grid, and I'm going to make my grid 0.5 mil. So that, and I can actually, if I want, I can actually turn it on. So that lets me see all these grid lines. If you scroll in, each one of these is 0.5 millimeter. So I'm actually going to take this and I'm going to draw this, and you see it like locks itself to the squares. And I want this to be a square initially, and I am going to go out until, if I look up here where my mouse is, you see that's my position for my cursor at any given time. Since I know this board is 21 millimeters long, I want to scroll over till 21, and then I'm going to scroll up, or drag up rather, until I'm at 19.5. All right, 21, 19, great. And now I can just come back and meet my middle, hit escape, and just like that, now I have the board outline. And you see this hole that I've got designed here, it's going to put these like these drawings on it. So like if I go to manufacturing, you'll see it overlaps, and that's just because Eagle has the line for the hole in here. I could like choose to just do like a circle and a cutout and avoid that, but I'm going to just leave it because I like to use the built-in holes. All right. Now, let's go ahead and zoom out. And you'll notice that this is all black because there's no PCB defined, and that's fine because we're going to drop this in another design. So I don't want it to actually etch out and cut using a dimension line. I want to be able to drop this into a different PCB and then, you know, have that PCB be a certain shape. Okay, so the next easy one to do is going to be our 2-pin header for our sock cleaner. So if I right click that and choose properties, we're gonna have to do a little bit of math here. All right, so we know this whole thing is 21 millimeters long, and unlike SolidWorks, Eagle's dumb. It won't let me like do the math in the program, which I always thought was silly, but here we are. So we got 21, and we need to subtract 6.3 because that's where these holes are, and that's gonna be 14.7. All right, so I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna put it 14.7 and hit apply. And then I know the center of it is 9.242 because that's right on the drawing. So I'm going to type that in, 9.242. Hit apply, and just like that, we're good. Now, it's in the wrong position, though. So let me click this guy. This is the rotate, and boom, just like that. Now, it's in the right position. So 14.7, yep. And then 9.242, yep. So that is good to go. Let's hit OK there. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is we want to put our 2-pin connector here. This is for our power connector. We know that this is going to be 3.3 millimeters from the board edge. That's what the drawing up here on the left shows us. And we know that it's 6 millimeters from the top. So that is going to be 13.5, if my math is right. I don't need to do a calculator for that. 13.5. Hit apply, and then hit OK. And then I look, and I'm like, hey, that's probably in the wrong direction. So let's just rotate it again. And I say it's in the wrong direction because if you look, this little like thing here, that's the opening of the connector. Now, don't worry so much about this top piece because in this drawing, it's because this was like a top entry connector. I guess I could come back over here and I could do, let's see. No, where's my swap part? Replace. If I come up here, I wonder if I have the side entry ones. Let's see, not Connecticut, weird. Con, JST, PH. I have side entries, but they're the surface mount ones. Oh, here we go. Side, duh. There's a side entry one. Say okay. And then let me swap that out. There we go. Now, since we swapped that out, let me click that, and it should change it over here. Oh no, I changed the wrong part. Let's undo that. All right, let's change the right part. I changed the pin header. That was not the one I wanted to do. That was dumb. All right, let's do that again. So we're gonna come back to our replace and hit OK again, and let's change the proper one now. And then voila, it's in the right spot. Let's go ahead and rotate it just like that. And now it's in the right spot. So we're good to go. Let's just double check. Properties, 3.3, yep. 13.5, yep. Boom, hit OK. All right, now let's also replace our incorrect 6-pin connector. Schmuck, it's amateur hour over here. All right, hit OK. Boom. Click that, and it should be also changed. So good. All right, we're going to go here, properties. We know that this is now centered at 13.7, and it's still 13.5 from the top. Hit apply and OK. And just like that, everything is laid out as expected for this PCB, we have our power entry, we have our 6 connectors, which 5 of only are used to the Brook UFB, we've got our hole, and we've got our SOCD. Those are the only things we need because this is going to be mounted direct to the circuit board, so we're good to go. I don't care about any of the circuitry on this thing. It doesn't matter. Now, what we need to do is go ahead and come into here, and I'm going to do a quick reference to the file, and I know, based on this, if I click here, this is going to be the ground, because black wires are the international color for ground, and click that, and then this one is going to be plus 5 volts, so we're going to click that and hit OK. So now we know that here, that's our 5 volts here, and then this is our ground, so that's good to go. All right, now we know that these 6 pins, we have to name those as well. So if I click here, pin 6, that's actually going to, oh man, I'm gonna have to remember how I named the Brook ones the other day. Well, let's see. Let's just call this, I think it was PS5_1, and then PS5_2. Worst case, I get these wrong and I just have to rename them. Not a big deal. PS5_3. PS5_4. And then PS5_5. All right. Whoops. These are just the labels for the nets. That's good. Here, we'll name this SOCD_1. And this is SOCD_2. And this will be just a simple toggle switch that we end up putting on our Microbox board. Very simple. All right, so there you go. We got our 5 pins to connect it to the Brook board, plus our 2 pins for the sock, sock switch, ground and power. So we should be good to go. Now let's go ahead and save. And now what I need to do is I need to open my Brook UFB schematic, and I also want to load the board because I want to make sure that I get these pins right. Now what I can do is I can zoom way in here and see how I labeled them. So you can see real light, it says PS5.1, PS5.2, PS5.3, PS5.4, PS5.5. Oy vey. All right, let me just do a quick screen grab of that so I have it. And then I'm just going to open Paint because I'm lazy. I'm going to paint that there, and let me crop it down. And then kind of zoom out like this. So we know this is the UFB side. So let's go ahead and open our upgrade PCB again, load the schematic. And we know that PS5.1, which is on the Brook side, the Brook board, the UFB side rather, is this lower connector coming off the board, which needs to go to the rightmost connector on the upgrade board. So I totally got these wrong, which is fine. That's why we model everything out and we look at it and we double check everything. And here, I'll just share with you guys what I found. Tim posted this on Twitter a while ago. So you'll see here that, let me see if I can rotate this board because, or this picture, because that would make this a lot easier. I don't think I can. But I can pay, it doesn't matter. So if you imagine this whole thing rotated, this being down here, you see this pin here is at the edge of the board. That's going to be this pin right here as we've drawn it. That pin goes down to the bottom pin on the Brook UFB, which we've done is PS5_1. So we need to go in and rename these. So let's just go ahead and take this off the screen so you guys now know why I'm doing what I'm doing. Come back to the schematic, and then I'm going to just rename these. And PS5_, I'm going to copy that, and we know that's going to be now 1. Hit OK. And this is going to be 2. This will be 3. This one will be 4. This one will be 5. And this one will be not used. All right. Okay, so now we can double check everything. Save. And not used. PS5 5. Really want to get here. PS5 1. All right, so if we zoom in, all right, so we know PS5 1 is the edge of the board, and I agree with that. That's that red wire on the image I showed you, and it goes to this bottom one, PS5 1 here. And it looks like all these wires in the picture, they're just like straight across wires, so the rest of this should be fine. And I think I'm about to get a package. Hang on. I'm getting a package. Okay, it's a package for the wife, not for me. Okay, so good. Now, and also if we look... Oh my god, my dog is barking. She's crazy. You can see here, or this not used pin is between the 5-volt ground connector and the 6-pin connector. And just double checking on the actual image, there is an empty spot there, so it's not used. So now I think we can say this design is really good to go. All right. So let's save that. All right, so that should be good. Let's just do a quick check here. Yep. Everything looks good. I'm pretty happy with the way this whole thing came together because it's super easy. So that's good. I'm just like wrapping my head around how this is compared to the picture, so that's great. Now, before we call this donezo, let's go ahead and clean up a couple things. Specifically, let's add some fillets, chamfers, however you want to say it, on the board, like there. That's probably too much, considering we don't have really a rounding thing here. So let's undo that. It's probably too much. Let's go with like 1.27. That looks a little bit better. Just a little bit nicer look. Now, again, remember, this is going to be covered up by that little board, so it's fine. Let's go ahead and add some text. This is the PS5 upgrade. Hit OK. And let's change this to vector. We're going to center. And we're going to put this on our T-place like this. Let's make this font size a little bit smaller, 1.27. And we'll just put here like this, hit escape. All right. So that will give us everything we need for this thing. That's pretty awesome. So let's go ahead and save this as a design file. So we're going to go File, Save as Design Block. And we're going to call this the Brook PS5 Upgrade Board. Design block by Jason Hicks. Dimensions and specs provided by Brook. Period. I like it. And we're going to save as. And then I've got it my design block, so I'm going to call this Brook UFB PS5 upgrade. Design block. Save. All right, so now we're good to go there. We can close all this junk because we don't need it anymore. And I'm going to save this just as a board file because I want to be safe. All right, now let's go here. We're going to, we want to go File, New. Hit OK. Close this. I'm going to go File, Switch to Board. This is where we made the mistake yesterday. It's going to show me my board as well as my schematic, and then I'm going to go to this little guy, this Lego piece, and click Add Design Block. Come here, I'm going to click my PS5 upgrade thing and hit OK, and just plop that down here, and then just like this, I have my design block I just made. So I can put this wherever I want. So here, I'll just put it up here for right now. Hit OK here, and it's in place. So now I've kind of got this in the same layout that the picture is I found on the old interwebs. And we can just double check our connectors here. So we zoom way in, and just like that, PS5 1, PS5 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yep, we're good to go. And then over here, that says 5 volts. Yep, and then it says ground. Yep, and then the PS5 or the sock cleaner pins are over here, so that's good to go. And just like that, we're done. Man, that looks great. So that was pretty easy, and it worked out real well. So we can go ahead and close. Well, I guess we can leave that open. Doesn't matter. So now we'll be able to use this in our Microbox build and be good to go. I think that'll make that whole design process real easy when it comes time to do it. So I think the only thing I got left to do now is just go ahead and upload this to my Buy Me a Coffee page. So if you're going to find something like this useful in a design you're going to use or a design you want to take on, then by all means, maybe become a member and download it. Or if you don't want to become a member, you know, it's $1. It's not that much. So if you're, let's see, how long did this take me? If your 30 minutes is worth $1, then by all means, I think that's good to go. So with that being said, that's going to be it for tonight. Tomorrow I am going to stream again when I get off of work, but I'm going to actually modify my Brook wireless mount to be able to fit this PCB in the bottom instead of the battery, so that you can 3D print it and use it in your Panzer or anything else that has built-in standoffs for the Brook Universal Fight Board. Or you can, you know, take that file, modify it, and set it up with threads so that you can put PCB feet on the bottom or something. It's up to you. But I'm gonna do that tomorrow, and I'm gonna drop that so everyone can download it and use it. So until next time, thanks for tuning in. I'm Jason, and I'll catch you later. Peace.